Have you thought about buying a gas station? You like the simplistic model where people come in, fill gas, you see gas prices going up, they must be making millions of dollars. In today's video, we're going to go through some gas station franchises as well as just an overall industry outlook for gas stations. So gas stations generally offer some different services. So it could be a full-on convenience store, a smaller convenience store, just for gas. There's a lot of different options that you have for gas stations. Even some gas stations might have a Subway restaurant or another restaurant attached where the gas station owner is also operating that restaurant that is in the same complex as the gas station. Gas stations in the US are generally not as profitable in other countries. I have friends, I have former clients that own gas stations in Brazil and in China, and they're multimillionaires. They have anywhere from 2 gas stations up to 15 gas stations. They make a lot of money, very high profit margin. In the United States, it's not like that. There's a lot of competition. Credit's cheap to open up a gas station. A lot of gas stations are owner operated. That's not necessarily a good sign though. That can show that there's not enough profit margin to be running 20 gas stations. You'll see similar to 7-Eleven where a lot of the 7-Elevens are owner operated. They might just have 1 or 2. Generally, that's a sign there's not enough profit margin to have a full-time day-to-day manager or even an area manager. So that's what we see with gas stations. It's definitely not my favorite industry and not our favorite industry for investing in embedded biz, especially when you look at the industry outlook and what's going on in states like New York, California that are dictating that electric vehicles will be the only new cars being sold in the 2030s. So yeah, we're 13 years away from the mandate in California and New York, but that's still something to keep in mind where unless gas stations really change their model and pivot to electric vehicle charging stations, which they would then compete directly with Tesla and some other corporations that are setting up their own charging stations, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. Not today, not in the next 5 years, but if you're thinking long term and you want to own a gas station for the next 20 years, 30 years, and also own the land, potentially sell the land, it's not going to be as valuable if people don't need gas as much. And keep in mind, in the US, per gallon, you're making pennies per gallon when you sell gas. You're not making much money at all on selling the gas. It's a high volume, low profit margin type business. Yeah, you're making money on cigarettes if you're selling alcohol or the other convenience items when people go into the gas station. But if people are just going to the pump and pumping gas, you're not making much money on that. Ground up gas stations are really expensive. You're including the land, $1 million to $10 million if you're opening up in a city. There's also the time it takes to get all the environmental, all the engineering permits set for that gas station where you need to hire and do an engineering study to make sure that the environmental impact's not that bad. All other types of permits that you have on a state-by-state level as well as on a municipality-to-municipality level that can take years to just get the gas station open. So ground up gas station, probably not going to be the best bet. And if you are set on investing in a gas station, franchise or a license opportunity, then it's probably better buying an existing gas station. Now, there's a ton of gas stations. One is owned Circle K by a billionaire. Yes, a Quebec Canadian billionaire owns Circle K. He's worth about $5.5 billion. Circle K these years has been like this in the United States. They grow in some markets, but they haven't had such high growth in the last few years. You have Shell. You have a lot of different opportunities in the gas station space. You have some smaller brands like Holiday Station Stores, franchise fees $25,000, an investment anywhere from $3.2 to $7.5 million. There's over 100 Holiday Station stores owned and operated by franchisees across the United States, as well as 413 corporate locations owned and operated by Holiday Station stores. However, they have had a pretty high failure rate over the past 3 years, and the franchise for sale rate's about 9%. So there are franchisees getting out of the system, closing down, corporate buying franchises back. There's a lot of gas stations to explore. There are some that are franchise, like Holiday Station Stores, Circle K, and there's others that are more of a licensing agreement, and there's pros and cons to both. Before you sign any agreement, though, definitely have a franchise attorney or an attorney that's specifically focused on license law, franchise law, before you consider buying a gas station franchise and signing an agreement to run that franchise for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know if there's a specific gas station you'd like us to dig into the financials on. We can do an episode just on that gas station franchise. Thank you.